Hi everyone, welcome to Finding Serenity in Stitches. My name is Christina and I'm happy to be here with you today. If you're new to my podcast, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by, and if you're returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate when you all like the videos and leaving comments. I'm enjoying getting to know some of you through the comments. And it's kind of fun because when I'm watching another podcast live, sometimes I'll see people that I know from my channel, and we'll say hello in the comments there. It's just a nice community feeling. So thank you all for that. We hit 100 subscribers, and my birthday is in 2 days, so I want to do a giveaway, and we'll do that at the end of the video. Today I'm going to go over what I've been working on. Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you is my Rafa Hat. Rafa's Hat. This is a pattern by Joji Locatelli, and she is doing a knit-along right now. It started September 20th, and it's going through the end of October, I believe, October 30th or 31st. So I signed up for a couple of things. I signed up for the Rafa Hat, which is a beanie, and here it is right here. This is a free pattern, and it's one of my favorite beanie patterns that I've made. Basically, you've got 3 large chunks of ribbing, and then you decrease, and it's done. And it really did fly off my needles. I knit this with the recommended needle, US 5. And it didn't take me very long. Like I said, it flew off the needles. It's so stretchy, and my husband has a big head, and so I know this is going to fit him. I've made it for him before, and I don't know if it's one of his favorites or if it's just the one that he always seems to find, but he does wear it a lot, so I thought another one would be great. I knit this with the Cloudborne Superwash Merino Worsted Twist, and I'll show you here. I got 1.23 ounces left of the yarn, and so I'll save that to add to some other project. So yeah, and I plan to make another one. I wanted to make one for my husband and one for my son. My son enjoys not skiing, but the other thing, snowboarding. He enjoys snowboarding, and he did ask for a pair of wool socks, and so that's on my list to knit for gifts. And also I want to make him a beanie, and I might make the Harlow beanie, which I purchased that pattern, and it's brioche, and it's something I've been wanting to learn. So we'll see. It's so quick, and it's so easy. And this Cloudborne Merino Worsted Twist is nice and squishy and warm. I think I really like this yarn. It just glided over my needles, and it was easy to rip back if I needed to, if I made a mistake, and it is nice and squishy. So it's one of my favorites. It's a good staple. So that's my only finished object, and I do have several whips. I had several things going on that I had started, and then I decided to sign up for Joji's 2021 Fall KAL, and so these two things are the hat and then this wrap that I'm making kind of jump to the front of the line. So I'll start with the wrap that I'm making. Joji has a wrap called Julie's Wrap. I guess she made it for a friend of hers, and it's a paid-for pattern, and you can find it in Ravelry. And basically it's an ocean of garter stitch, which I love, just going back and forth, knitting back and forth. And then you pick up stitches, I believe, to do the border. And so it's pretty straightforward. It looks like it so far. And it's a rectangle shape, pretty much. I think there's a little variation, but mostly a rectangle shawl or wrap. And I'm using Mrs. Crosby What is the name of that? Hold on here. Aha, I found it. Okay. Okay, so I knit this with Mrs. Crosby Loves to Play, and this is Greystone. So this is the yarn I'm using. I only had 2 skeins of the Mrs. Crosby, so I am also using a skein of Cloudborn merino fingering merino, whatever they call that. And so I'm just rotating 2 rows of Mrs. Crosby and then 2 rows back and forth of the Cloudborn, and it's coming out pretty well. The colors are very similar, and the Mrs. Crosby is a little more variegated, which is nice. It gives it a little bit of depth, and so yeah, it's going really well. I'm confident I'll be able to finish before the KAL is over at the end of October. And I'm using for needles, I think it's the recommended needle. Let me see here. US 5, which I believe is the oh no, you know what? US 6 is the recommended needle, and I had started this wrap previously, and I did about 2 inches, and my stitches were not consistent, so I'd started using my carbons needles, metal needles, and my stitches weren't consistent, so I tried the Clover, what is this, Takumi bamboo knitting needles, and they were still a little bit inconsistent, so I went down a needle size, and so I'm using a US 5. The pattern calls for a US 6, but I'm much happier with how my stitches are coming out. They're much more consistent, and I know it's going to take me a little longer because I did go down a needle size, but I did add on some additional stitches to compensate for that change. And I did want it a little wider. The Julie's wrap is about 20 inches wide once you complete the border, and I'm having the middle section be 20 inches, then adding on the border. So anyway, it's going well. I'm happy with it, and I could see myself knitting it again. Let's see. For my grandson, I started a pair of socks, and these are his Seahawk socks. He's in the room next door. I hope he can't hear me. But when I first started them, I had just started this the first blue line, the first blue stripe. And so I've gotten quite a bit done, and it's going along well. But like I said, the 2 patterns that are Hohis have kind of jumped to the front of the line, but I try to do at least 1 or 2 rounds every day on these. And for these, I am using Heritage Prints, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And I believe this is called Seattle Stripe. Might be Seahawk Stripe, but I think it's Seattle. I'm using US 2, which are my Chow Gu. I just got these specifically for sock knitting, and I do like them a lot. They're a little slippery, so there's been a couple times where I've accidentally pulled the needle out of the stitches and then had to get my glasses on and pick them up, and to make sure I didn't drop any stitches. But oh, see, here I did drop a couple. My goodness. Okay, hold on here. Okay, see, that's fine. At least they're easy to pick up. So yeah, next on my list is my Douglas Cardi. It's a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and I started this probably a couple of weeks ago, I think. So I showed you all the swatch last time I was filming, and here's all the colors I'm going to be using. This is Lion Brand Jeans yarn. This is vintage, stovepipe, corduroy, vintage again. This orangey or rusty color is, oh my goodness, is I can't remember. It's a nice color. Oh, Top Stitch. The rusty color is Top Stitch. And I was kind of thinking about just using these colors. And the white, the off-white is Hobie Amigo, which is a DK, but it goes really well with this yarn. So I'm not too concerned about it. Here is the Hobie Amigo that I'm using. I love this color for a neutral color. It goes with all different shades, cool shades. I don't know what else, cool shades and what other shades are there. But anyway, I love this color. It's called Sterling. And so I finished the ribbing where you started, and then I'm working on my second stripe so far. And so that's how far I've gotten. And this is being knit on a US 7, which is the recommended needle size. And so it's going quickly. It's a pretty quick knit with the larger knitting needle size. And I'm liking it. I haven't decided if that's going to be a gift for one of my daughters or if I'm going to keep it. So we'll see. We will see. Next on my list, I have a lot of whips, but I did have that one finished object, is my Baltian. So that's something I've been working on, and I've restarted this probably 4 times because I'm new to color work, and the number of stitches on my needles were at the number that I was supposed to have. But I couldn't figure out, the chart had less boxes than the number of stitches on my needles, if that makes sense. So anyway, I think I figured it out well enough to just get it started, do as much as I can, and if I drop off a stitch or 2 at the end, I'm not going to worry about it, because, you know, I think it's going to be, the pattern will be ending at the shoulder, and then the pattern continues in the back. So I don't think people will really be able to see if I cut the pattern off a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. This is my first color work sweater. And here is a close-up of the yarn. This yarn, the speckled, is Bookshop. Yeah, Bookshop, and it's made by Flower Garden, and I found that on Etsy. And the dark color is Heritage, Cascade Yarns Heritage, Superwash Merino, 25% nylon. And the color, it's a real dark navy. It kind of looks gray-blue, but when it's next to the black color that I purchased, it's hard to tell which is which. It's that dark of a blue. I had started out using a dark gray along with this yarn, but I decided that the navy really brought out all the rest of the colors a little better. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I could see how doing color work is a little bit addictive, and I could totally see myself doing more color work in the future. I made my swatch, and I met Gauge, and I went up a needle size once I started the color work, like some videos recommended. And so I hope I'm leaving enough room for it to lay nice and smooth and not be bunched up. I think I am. I'm trying to be real careful and cognizant of these stitches not getting bunched up, but sitting on the needles more stretched out, if that makes sense. So yeah, first colorwork sweater is in the works. Oh, and here is the Bookshop yarn that I purchased. It's got some beautiful colors in it. And then along with this navy, whoopsie, along with this navy, beautiful, very nice. I really like those colors. What else do I have? Oh, okay, so I started a blanket for my daughter, and it's crochet. Let me grab it here. So my one daughter, Isabella, she I made her a blanket along with everyone else in my little family for last Christmas. And hers didn't come out well. The Hygge yarn by Red Heart, I believe it is. It said to machine wash and dry, but when I did, the yarn kind of lost its fluff. I owe her another blanket. I don't owe her really, but I wanted to make her another blanket, something that she'll really enjoy, to kind of make up for that one that I made last Christmas. And so here's what I have so far. Take a good look. I am making this. I love the colors. I hope you all do too. I'm making this with Lion brand Color Made Easy, and it's a discontinued yarn. I had no idea it was going to be discontinued when I stocked up on it at the end of last winter, I believe it was. But that's okay. I have enough to make a great blanket, and I'm using the Boho Stripes blanket pattern by the Snugglery, and all of this information about these patterns will be in my show notes. And I'm using the hook. Let's see here. It's a chunky weight yarn. I'm using a 7mm hook, and you start off, it's a free pattern by the way, but you start off with a border of single crochet, and then you go up a needle size and begin the moss stitch, which is single crochet, chain one, single crochet. And I love how it's turning out. It's really cute. My husband loves the colors. He was like, maybe you could give her my blanket and I could have that one. And I'm like, I don't know. This is hers, especially for her. So yeah, that's the blanket I'm working on. If you end up making this, make sure you do a swatch, because I had started once thinking, okay, I'll just go up a needle size like it recommends. And I did a swatch, but I wasn't paying that much attention. It looked good. And then when I went to do the actual blanket, this single crochet border was larger than the blanket, even though they were the same stitches. And so I ended up going up 2 needle sizes, or down 2 needle sizes for the border, and it's coming out just fine now. So you can see the border and then the stripes. And the stripes in the pattern is, I believe it's 1 row back and forth, and then you switch colors every 2 rows. And I'm doing somewhat random stripes. I'm keeping the same color pattern, so it goes black, yellow, white, gray, olive green, red, and then starts over black, yellow, white. So I'm just making the stripes different sizes as I go along, so it kind of has a little randomness to it. So going really well, flying off my hook. Wow, I think I zipped through all my whips that I have. Of course, I have a basket of other whips in the closet that I need to decide if I'm gonna finish them, get them done and move on, or frog them and wind up the yarn and put it someplace so I can see it for, to make something else. Yeah. Does every knitter and crocheter have a large basket of whips that you don't know if you're going to finish? Because I do. Let's go to a couple of things I purchased. I have been looking for like a honey colored yarn, DK or fingering. It really didn't matter to me, but a sweater quantity so I could make myself a cardigan. And every time I found a yarn that I liked and, that the price was good, was decent, I should say, it would be sold out or they didn't have enough available. So I was watching Crystal at Bag O' Day, and she has talked about Little Knits, their website, and what great deals they have. And they do have some great deals. I found this yarn. It's Patagonia Organic Merino, and it's by Juniper Moon Farm. Here it is right here. It's a really pretty mustardy yellow. It looks a little brighter on camera than it really is. It's a wonderful color for fall, and it's just what I was looking for. It's 100% wool. It's 3.5 ounces, 3.52 ounces per skein, 100 grams, 382 yards, and it's a number 3 DK weight, and suggested needle US 5 to 7 knitting needles. Crochet hook US 7 recommended. And it's called Acorn by Juniper Moon Farms, Patagonia. It's not as soft as I thought it would be, being organic merino. So I'm hoping, I mean, it's not rough. You know, I'll certainly be able to wear it. I think because I've been working with a lot of merino, I'm just used to it being so squishy soft. But yeah, I'm hoping that once I make up a sweater. Oh, and the whole reason I wanted to find a little bit of a rustic yarn was because I want to make a cardigan and I want to steek it. I want to learn that skill because I don't really care to do purl stitches. I enjoy doing knitting stitches. And so if I can avoid that by cutting my yarn and, you know, just knitting in a circle, I really want to do that. And so this is going to be a great yarn to try that with because it does feel a little toothy or rustic, I would say. This is probably the most rustic yarn I've worked with. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to, you know, get through some of these projects though before I start this, but I'm excited I did find enough yarn in the color I wanted. And I think it's going to be good for steeking. So we'll see. Also on Little Knits, while I was on there, I saw this skein of yarn. This is Mineville Wool Project. And here it is. It's got like a honey mustard yellow, and then it's got some gray, light gray, and then darker gray spots in here. But I just thought that would make a great pair of socks. And I didn't even look to see if, oh, it's 100% merino, so not so great for socks. I've seen different videos talk about just using merino without the nylon, that they don't hold up as well. But it will not go to waste. I will definitely find something to use this with. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I am celebrating my 54th, I believe it is, birthday on October 5th. And I wanted to do a giveaway because it's my birthday coming up in a couple days. And we hit 100 subscribers. And so a couple of things I would love to give away. I ended up with 2 copies of this book, Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. Oh, that's that. Look at that light. Anyway, here we go. Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. If you enjoy lace knitting or would like to try it, there's so many different kinds. You can see in here, it's just a sample I opened up too. All kinds of different lace patterns. If you enjoy making socks and you want to put a little twist on your socks, this is a great book to use. I haven't knit anything out of this book yet, but I'm excited. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at this one here. There's just so many gorgeous patterns in here. Does that have anything? Oh yeah, there we go. So I was looking for like a used copy, affordable used copy that was in excellent condition, and I came across one. And I somehow forgot that I had ordered it. And so before it came in the mail, I ended up ordering another one. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe subconsciously I wanted a copy to share with my fiber friends on my podcast. So this is one. And if you are interested in it, let's see. Let's go to the next gift. The next item is this gorgeous hank of Hawthorne fingering weight yarn, and this is called Tie Dye Speckle. I thought it was so cute, and it looks very birthday-y or birthday-ish. So yeah, I thought I would provide this skein. It's from Knitpicks, and it is 80% superwash fine Highland wool, 20% polyamide, and tumble dry, machine wash cold, tumble dry low. What else is on here? It's called Tie Dye Speckle, and it's 357 yards, 100 grams. So I think one of you lovely people will enjoy knitting this. You could put it together with something else, or knit yourself a pair of socks with this, whatever your heart desires. So what I thought I would do is have you put a comment, certainly subscribe. I do appreciate you subscribing to be entered to win this giveaway. Like this video. I would love it. I would love it if you liked it, and leave a comment. And what we'll do, so I know which you're interested in, because some of you may just crochet. In that case, probably, unless you want to learn to knit, but this might not be the best place to start learning from. Okay, so in the comments, let me know if you're interested in the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible, and we'll just use the word knitting. And if you're interested in the Hawthorne Tie Dye Speckle, just put the word Hawthorne, and that way I'll know if you're interested in both or just one. So I think that's all. Oh, you know what? I do have a couple more things. There's so much going on in the fiber community these days. I started jotting down different KALs that are going on, and there's so many. Rose Opal Knits. I love that podcast. It's a mother-in-law, Erika, and a daughter-in-law, Daphne. How fun they have each other to podcast with. Anyway, they're having a holiday sweater make-along, and so go check out Rose Opal Knits. They have a podcast. Grocery Girls is doing a few different knit-alongs. Joanne's Fabric Store is doing a fall stitch-along, and there's a knitting project and a crochet project, so something for everyone. Let's see, Knits and Pieces is doing a fall for shawl KAL, and that's until October 31st. The Meaningful Stitch is doing all the shawls KAL, and I didn't catch how long that's going for. Sticks and Twine is doing a finish along. I thought that was pretty cool. You have whips that you really need to get done, and so you join the finish along to give you a little push to get it done. And that goes till October 31st. A Yarn Tale Karen. I just love Karen at a Yarn Tale. So she's partnering with Amanda at Southern Knits in the Mitt, and they are doing a gift KAL, knit along or crochet along. And so any gift that you are making, that's going to be in Ravelry and on Instagram. And this ends December 1st, and hashtag 2021 gift Mal. So I'm definitely doing that because I want to support Karen. I really like her. She's funny. Anyway, Interweave is, did you know October 9th is I Love Yarn Day? So Interweave is doing an I Love Yarn Day giveaway, and that's for knitters and crocheters. And they have the Clover Amour crochet hooks that they're giving away, and they also have the Clover Takumi bamboo knitting needles set they're giving away. Both are excellent. I have a set of that Takumi bamboo. That was the first real interchangeable needle set that I purchased, and I did a lot of knitting on that. And then I purchased the carbons. Fiber Hustle is doing a dishcloth revolution. So there is so many make-alongs out there. I encourage you to get involved with a make-along. It's fun. You get to chit-chat with each other about what you're making. Most of the time there's prizes, and so that's always fun. And yeah, I think that's all the information I have for you today. Oh, one last thing I want to mention is I have been podcasting weekly for about a month and a half, and life has kind of gotten in the way of my knitting and crocheting, and so I'm going to be going to podcasting every 2 weeks, and it's been about 2.5 weeks since my last video, but I'm back on track, and I want to start doing every 2 weeks now. I think that's going to be much more manageable, and I'll have, you know, more to share with you. So I'm never going to get off of here. At my next podcast in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks maybe, because I like to post my videos on Fridays for some reason, we'll have the drawing. In fact, I'm going to put the date of the drawing in the description because I haven't looked at a calendar. Yeah. All right. Seriously now, it's time for me to go. Take care.